Hi guys, thank you very much. I am Tony Simmonds. I am the head of business transformation at Cocho. It is my privilege to look after the team. We have a experienced team of ProSci change practitioners, and we are here to assist you with your transformation journeys. So, bringing users along on the journey. Just one quick thing I wanted to do. Can everyone stand up, please? Everyone stand up. All right, can everyone change sides of the room? No, everyone sit down. People hate change. Yeah, people, it's human nature. People do not like change, okay? Loads of different emotions there. I heard it, breathing, sighing, oh, this guy's an idiot, I don't want to do it. Please don't make me, yeah? Some of you might have stood up and thought, this is brilliant, I hate this seat, it's not comfortable, I want to move, yeah? But, this light's blinding me. So yeah, there's loads of different emotions that we deal with on a day-to-day. Change management is not just training and comms, right? There's a whole methodology, there's a whole framework that goes into this. And it's about bringing users along on your journey, and that's what we're here to assist you with. So I do have some click-happy slides to run through, which I'm going to do now. The light is blinding. That's a laser, that's not the right one. There we go. The art of delivering successful tech projects. Come on, catch up. There it goes. Right, we start with an idea, or a requirement, or a need, okay? The light bulb goes off. Brilliant. That then leads on to, we're gonna save some money, we're gonna make some money, we're gonna generate efficiency, we're gonna be compliant, we have to reduce risk in our business. And all the tech products, everything we've looked at, for the last 2 days, there is going to be an impact on the individual. Do we know what that impact is yet? No. We go away, we create a project plan. We create a proposal. We put a budget together. We put a timeline together. We send that up, goes up to a sponsor. They give us the big thumbs up. Let's go ahead. Let's do this project. We've seen the benefit. And we're ready to progress. Brilliant. We're going to put an ACE team together. We're going to put the A team. We've got a sponsor. We've got a PM, and we've got a senior member of the IT team. Who have we forgotten? There's no change manager on board. Who, therefore, have we forgotten? The end user. At no point in our planning have we considered that, hey, there's actually going to be an impact on the end user here. How many end users have you collectively got in your organizations? I've talked to many of you. Some of you got 80,000 employees in your organization. How do you manage change on that scale? Organizational outcomes are the collective result of individual change. You will not reach your return on investment. You will not reach your ambitions, your goals, unless you bring these people on a journey. Okay. Change manager. The change manager has to take people from a current state through a transitional journey to a future state. It's quite simple. If you don't do that, it's fragmented. You get this like Swiss cheese effect, which is the bottom table there on the right. You've left some users behind. People don't get it. They don't know how to use the new systems you've put in. They don't know how to use the new technology. They want to go back to the old ways of working. They like the way things were. Why do we need to change? I've been working like this for 10 years. I love this process. I don't want to change. They are resistant to change. Yeah? We need to progress these people from current transition future. The only way you can do that is to plan, and include your end users on your journey and plan. How do you build awareness? How do you create desire? How do you build the knowledge? How do you create the ability? How do you reinforce change? How are you going to ensure that your goals and your ambitions continue long after the project finishes? The project is going to finish, but actually reinforcing the change and ensuring those successful change outcomes continue. You plan for that. You have a strategy in place. The awareness. How are your people managers going to be involved in building awareness? How are your sponsors going to be involved? What's your comms strategy? how's that going to be delivered? Over what timelines? When are we going to start releasing comms? How are we going to build awareness of change with the end user base? It might be a really simple change you're putting in, but if you're doing it over a large number of individuals in your teams, then you are going to need to consider what the individual impact is. And I'm going to move on to impact assessments in a minute. Creating desire for change. Sponsors. Yeah. Having a fully engaged sponsor. We're going to cover that in a minute as well. Creating the knowledge, the training, the actual training pack itself, but not just the training. You know, you can deliver training, you can send out a step-through guide, 12 step through. You might have an intranet site. It's not enough. You know, what is the actual training plan? Who needs to be involved? Yeah? What's the role of the people manager in delivering the training? How are we going to reinforce the training? How are we going to make sure the training's landing? How are we going to assess that? What you want to hear is from your end user base. I understand why. Yeah? I've decided to do this. I see that this is something that is going to benefit me because it benefits the organization. I am on board. Yeah? I know how to do it. Let's do it. I've been trained. I understood. I've done a pilot. I was part of the pilot group. I'm ready to use these new skills. The ability. They come into work on the Monday. You've put in 3-4 weeks of a training plan. They now know how to use the new technology. You are not going to get an increase in service desk tickets. That's what you're trying to avoid, is the ultimate cost of installing the new technology. You do not want the cost of your project actually incurring costs because all of a sudden your service desk has an influx of tickets. How do we ensure that doesn't happen? Creating the reinforcement strategy, we'll cover that in a minute as well. There's a real simple impact assessment that we do, and it is coming in and it's working with your key stakeholders. It's working with the members of your groups of users, your departments, working with the head of department, working with a subject matter expert to understand what the ultimate impact is going to be on their day-to-day lives. Is it a change in process? Is it a system change? Is it a tool change? Is there going to be an impact on the way they operate? Are they going to be home workers? The location's going to change. Are we changing how they're going to be compensated from the new technology you're putting in? Yeah, all of a sudden, we're now changing the KPIs that the company has because we have better reporting. We've got better reporting, now you've got new KPIs, now the compensation's going to change because we're going to put in place new goals for you to achieve your bonus. Yeah? What's the impact look like for these individuals? From here, because you've now done an impact assessment with the departments, you can now customize and bespoke the training, the sponsor plan, the comms plan to individuals within your organization. It's no longer a one-size-fits-all. We aren't going to just send out a blanket, 2 days before, here's an email with a link to the training pack. We've actually gone out, we've shown empathy. People can see that we care how this change is going to impact their day-to-day lives. We've built a plan, and now we've actually customized it to the point where it's actually customized on a department-by-department level. Resistance, we talked about it at the start there. Everyone's like, I don't want to change seats. Do not underestimate the power of comfort with how things are done today. People are very happy coming to work and doing what they've been doing for 10 years. They don't necessarily want to change. It's for us to work with your people managers, work with your project sponsors, be able to coach and assist people with resistance management. On some occasions, I used to be an operations manager and operations director before moving into change management, so I've felt all this firsthand. I used to run large utilities companies and telecoms, and I've seen it. So people managers are often recruited into positions of authority because of their technical ability. Jim's great at doing the day-to-day. He's going to be great at leading the team because he'll be able to answer X, Y, and Z question. That's great, but at no point has Jim been sent off to do a people manager course. He has no idea how to manage resistance. if there's a change that happens and the team starts, getting upset about it, is that person going to be the person to be able to take them off and actually be able to coach them through that? So we can assist with resistance prevention and resistance response as well. How are you going to handle those difficult conversations, courageous conversations, in some circumstances? The most resistant groups from a study, so all this comes from ProSci, all these graphs and everything I've got in here. The most resistant groups are actually your mid-level managers. How are they involved in the change? Have you coached them? Have they been involved? Have they, been able to run through the impact assessment and say how their team's going to be impacted, how they're going to be involved in a sense that they, might be involved in the overall delivery of the change, and not just finding out at the last minute that all of a sudden I've got to take my entire team into workshops or into one-to-ones to tell them about the change that's coming. They're well informed. The ultimate goal, you will never eliminate all resistance, but you can mitigate it by planning, and that's what we do. You expect it, actually. I mean, that's written there, but you should expect resistance. If you don't plan for it, you'll be caught out. The writing's a bit small. No, it's not. It's small there because I'm looking at a small screen. What makes an effective sponsor? Your sponsor cannot just turn up on the first day, do a town hall, announce the change, and then disappear for 6 months. People will become disengaged. They need to see an actively engaged sponsor to ensure that they themselves stay on board. The sponsor is there to ensure that the project stays on track, to make timely decisions, to provide the resources, to provide the budget, to ensure that they are able to track and their success as well, and actually give recognition throughout the project life cycle, not just at the end, not just turning up to the pizza party on the go live date. The sponsor is there; they're involved the whole way through. They should engage across the organisation. They are there to build that coalition of support. They are there to get other senior managers on board with this project. There will be multiple projects happening within your organisations at any one time. How does your project take priority over other projects within the organisation? How do you avoid change saturation? You need a really engaged sponsor to ensure that they're able to take your project forward, have those conversations, and get people on board. And they need to communicate with the employees. You need somebody that is able to give the direction, set the focus, advocate the change. This is going to benefit us because, People managers are the ones that are always forgotten. Whenever I speak to an organisation, yes, we have a sponsor. We're thinking about training. We're thinking about comms. We're thinking about how things will be delivered. And then I say, what about the people manager? Oh yeah, well the people manager will be there to do one-to-ones and to manage this. Okay, but what is the actual role of the people manager? They are the ones that are on the front line. They're the ones that are going to deal with the brunt of the resistance. So like I say, it's being able to ensure that they have the proper tools and the proper resources to do their job, and you've given them enough notification and the ability to be able to manage those conversations. They need to coach people through the change. They need to know that what's within the training plan. They need to know what's within the training content. They need to know when things are going to be delivered. And all these plans I keep referring to all need to work in harmony. We need to make sure that the training plan, the comms plan, the people manager plan, everything is aligned so that the timeline of events is succinct and makes sense. It's up there. In a ProSci survey, 2 of 3 participants reported their organisation did not adequately prepare managers and supervisors with the skills, training, and tools they need to lead. If you cannot sit in front of an employee and advocate change, how do you expect your end users to be on board? They can't possibly be. Another one I get quite often, We want you to send the comms, i.e. Cocho, or we want the change manager to send the comms. We can do that, but it's not going to hit home. The employees want to receive personal messaging that affects their day-to-day working from their supervisor. They don't want it from a nobody they've never heard of. They want to receive that information from their direct supervisor. We can write the comms, and we do that all the time. We can write comms, and we can write strategy, and we can provide you the comms plan. I'll deliver the comms if you ultimately want me to, but actually what we see is that 70% of employees actually prefer to receive those messages directly from their supervisor. Messages that are of organisational value should be coming from the sponsor. You need a sponsor that's going to send those messages out. We talked about active participation and being there on the town hall, but somebody that's actually going to send those messages. We've got the sponsor plan. You're not expecting the sponsor to think about everything that has to be done. We will write the plan and we'll have the strategy, but those messages should be coming from the sponsor themselves. And ultimately, like I said, it's all about sustaining change outcomes. The party doesn't happen until you've sustained success. What are the success factors you're trying to measure? We will discuss that at the beginning of the journey. What is it that we need to achieve? What are the KPIs? What are the outcomes that you're looking to deliver as part of this project? And ultimately, what is the time to measure those outcomes post-go live? The pizza party should happen once you've sustained success, not on the go live date. So we have the idea, we have the requirement, the need. We've added in change management, and that equals success. Yay! It's made up of loads of things. I've covered a lot of this, but we will do business discovery. We will do your impact assessment. We will work with your end users to understand what the impact's going to be on their day-to-day. As is versus to be, we have a team of business analysts that are able to come in and do user mapping, user stories, understand what the existing processes are and what the to be will look like, therefore what is the impact. ADCAR barrier points I didn't cover. So we talked about the ADCAR. You can do an ADCAR assessment, which is basically just a survey that goes out really quickly and identifies where people are in terms of their knowledge of the program. And that then basically tells us that you've got X number of percentage of employees currently stuck at the knowledge gap. We need to focus our attention on building up the training plan. Or you've got X percentage of employees which are still not even aware of the program. You need to work on comms. So we can do surveys as well.